Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Lucille-Ball and Richard Denning in an episode of My Favorite Husband going back to May 20th, 1949, as Liz is feeling old and decrepit.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Jello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Brought to you by the Jello family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. That's Jello.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it.
As we look in on the Coopers tonight, it's evening, and we find George Cooper sitting in the living room reading the paper. And Liz is... Well, that's funny. Liz is sitting on the floor over by the bookcase with books spread out all around her.
Liz, what are you doing with those books all over the floor?
Sorting them. Our club is having an old book sale.
Well, don't try giving away any of mine.
I'll only take the ones you're through with, like this one.
Has it got a bookmark in it?
Yes, but you're
Then I'm not finished with it. Put it back.
George, you'll never finish it.
I will, too. Some reading is so heavy, it takes a long time to finish.
Oh, well, then I'll put this one back by all means.
What's the name of it?
The Bobbsey Twins at the Seashore. Tell me when you finally struggle through it, George.
Very funny. Well, you can take that one.
Thank you. George, is this your library book, How to Play Mahjong?
Oh, my gosh, I forgot about it. I'll bet it's overdue. What's the date on it?
Let's see, May 13th.
Well, it's only a week overdue.
May 13th, 1936.
Oh, well, then you can have it.
What? You want me to handle a hot book? I'm no fence.
Listen, pear-shaped, go sell your books. Don't bother me.
All right. George!
What's the matter?
Look, on the second shelf. Little Men is leaning against Little Women. Oh, look, George.
What?
They've had a little pamphlet.
Oh, silly.
Oh, George, look at this, the Arbutus.
Well, look at that. My old high school yearbook. Let's see it.
Wait till I blow the dust off.
That's when I was graduated from high school.
Mm-hmm.
The Arbutus, 1929. You were a freshman in high school that year, remember?
Oh, that's right. That wasn't so long ago at that, was it?
No. Look, here's a picture of me.
Where?
Right here with the football team.
Gee, you look wonderful. Right up in the front row, too. You know, George, we've still got that bucket up in the attic.
Here, let me take it, Liz. I want to read some of those things the kids wrote to me.
Remember every time the annual came out, you could tell how popular you were by how many kids wrote in the margins of your copy.
Yeah, and they wrote the silliest things. Look at this one. In your golden chain of friendships, let me be one of the links.
Oh, here's a beaut. Think of your friends as bananas and count me as one of the bunch.
Oh, look, there's a picture of you here.
See?
Yeah, as a freshman princess.
Let's see. Oh, no. Look how short my dress was.
So that's what knees look like.
Oh, don't I look awful?
No, you were lucky. You had dimples in your knees.
Lucky nothing. I used to spend each night kneeling on 2 collar buttons. I did, too. One of my knees still keeps rolling under the dresser. Oh, look how young I am in that picture.
You sure were beautiful.
And young. Would you like me to be that young again, George?
Sure. Then we could wear father and daughter sunsuits.
I'm serious, George. Gee, that picture makes me feel old.
Old? Oh, don't be silly. You're still young and pretty.
I am not. Look at me then. A little flower in the bloom of youth. And look at me now, an old stinkweed.
Oh, Liz, now don't start being silly. None of us look like we did then.
That's just it, George. You do. You haven't changed a bit. Oh, your hairline may have receded a little, but you're just as handsome and virile and wonderful looking as you were then. But I'm not. I have a double chin and a spare tire, and my figure is dumpy. I have crow's feet around my eyes, and my age shows in every inch of me. I'm just not young anymore.
Hairline's receded, huh? Oh, get off the old age kick, will you?
No, I've got to face it, George. I'm not a girl anymore. I'm getting old and wrinkled.
You are not.
Yes, I am. I'm getting old and wrinkled. Now admit it.
All right, you're getting old and wrinkled. Now what?
I've given you some of the best years of my life, and now you say I'm old and wrinkled. Good night.
Come back here, Liz. I didn't mean it.
Oh, yes, you did. I'm going to bed. When you get to be my age, you need your sleep.
Oh, now what am I in for?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the oldest one of all?
Mrs. Cooper.
I am? Oh, Katie, it's you.
If you don't mind my asking, what are you doing mumbling in front of the mirror?
Katie, I'm not young anymore. I didn't realize it till last night. We got out our high school annual, and I haven't felt so old since the day Shirley Temple got married.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, you've got to snap out of this. Now, maybe a nice meal would help you. What would you like for lunch?
Oh, just a cup of tea.
Is that all?
Well, perhaps a bowl of warm gruel.
Oh, I
Now, let me review this, Mr. Cooper. You looked at an old high school annual the other night, and your wife suddenly decided she was old?
That's right, Doctor.
Well, we psychiatrists see cases like this quite often. It's not serious.
Well, she's even been telling people she's 31.
How old is she?
31.
My goodness, this is serious. What other symptoms does she have?
Well, she's in bed every night at 8 o'clock reading literature from the old lady's home. And the other night, she asked me about opening a charge account at Forest Lawn. What can I do?
Well, fortunately, it's simple. All your wife needs is the assurance that she's still young and beautiful. You must reenact your courtship. Treat her as you did then. Flatter her, make love to her, convince her that she's desirable and lovely. Send her flowers and candy.
You really think that'll do any good?
Mr. Cooper, take my word for it. A few days of attention, and your wife will feel so young you won't be able to leave her alone without a sitter.
Liz, I'm home, honey. Where's my little baby?
Here I am, George, sitting in front of the fire. Old rocking chair's got me, laying by my side.
Oh, Liz, what's a beautiful young girl acting like that for?
What beautiful young girl? Who came in?
You, dear. Guess what I brought you, Liz?
Did you bring me something? You didn't have to bother. George, I don't want to be a burden to you in my old age.
Now, stop that. Guess what I brought? Just what you need to make you feel good.
A hot water bottle?
No. Look, flowers and candy.
Oh, roses. Roses are for young girls. George, some violets would have been nice.
Well, how about a piece of candy, Grandma? Or do you have upper plate wobble?
Oh, George.
Oh, Liz, I didn't mean it. Oh, come on. I think you're beautiful. I always have and I always will. You're beautiful and you're young.
George, why did you bring me candy and flour? You haven't done that in years.
Well, to show you that I'm crazy about you.
What have you done?
if you don't snap out of it...
Now, if you'll pardon me, I'll go to my room and rest.
Rest from what? You haven't done anything but eat breakfast. What tired you? Did Katie leave the crusts on the toast?
Go on, have your fun, George. Isn't it enough that you found a new life for yourself? I'll see you later.
Oh, what have I done to deserve this? Little old lady, young and fair, you're in everyone's hair.
Hello?
Dr. Stewart, this is George Cooper. It didn't work.
Oh. Well, sometimes a wife won't believe flattery when it comes from her husband. Your wife needs attention from some other man.
Well, I don't know if I like that idea or not.
Believe me, it's the only system that'll work. And I know just the man. He's charming, attractive, clever, and exactly the romantic type to take her mind off her troubles.
Do you think he'd help me out?
I'd be glad to. As long as you ask me, all right. I'll be out in the evening.
Okay. I'll say you're an old fraternity brother, and you've just dropped into town.
Good. I'll see you at 8 o'clock.
That was a good dinner. What'll we do tonight, Liz?
Oh, I'll just sit by the fire a minute and then go to bed. I tire so easily these days.
Oh,
I wonder who that can be.
It must be Charlie Stewart. I ran into him today. He's an old fraternity brother of mine. I'll let him in. Charlie Stewart.
Hiya, George.
Come on in. Charlie, this...
George, you didn't tell me you had a daughter.
Look, Charlie. This is my...
Tell me, honey, is your mother home?
Look, Charlie, I'm trying to tell you
Let
that
him alone, George. He's doing all right. I'm George's wife, Mr. Stewart.
Wife? Why, you old cradle snatcher, you.
Why, Mr. Stewart.
George, you told me she was young and pretty, but you didn't say she was beautiful.
Why, Charlie.
We always figured in school that George would pick a beauty, but we never expected a queen like you.
Why, Chuck. George, why haven't you had good old Charlie here before?
I just got into town today. It's the first time since we graduated.
Oh.
Yes. Charlie and I were great friends at college, weren't we, Charlie?
You said it. I'll never forget those good old days at Indiana U.
Indiana?
Ixnay.
Oh, that's where I took my postgraduate work. I'll never forget those days at good old Ixnay.
What?
He means Dean Ixnay at Yale. Gee, that was a long time ago.
Yes, a long, long time ago.
Uh-oh, there she goes again.
Well, let's not stand here. Let's turn on the radio and get some good music, huh?
Yeah, that's a swell idea.
Maybe we can get my favorite program, Life Begins at 80.
Oh, no. We're going to get some dance music. I feel like dancing. How about you, George?
Good idea. I feel like dancing, too.
Well, you two go ahead. I'll watch.
Listen, they're playing a samba. I've always been too busy to learn the samba. Will you teach me, Mrs. Cooper?
I'm sorry. The last dance I learned was the black bottom.
Nonsense. I can tell by looking at you. You could teach me in a minute. Oh, listen to that beat.
Well, I have seen it done.
Good girl. Now, I'll just put my arm around you like this and hold you real close. That the right position for the samba?
No, but don't let that stop you.
Just a minute, Charlie, old man. Don't you think you better wait for the music to start again?
Just the treatment, George, the treatment.
Oh, that's right, the treatment.
What are you two whispering about?
Oh, nothing, just college secrets.
Oh, who cares about man talk when there's a beautiful woman around? Shall we dance, Liz?
All right. Now watch my feet.
All right.
See? Back and forth. That's it. Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Oh, Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband, May 20th, 1949, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
The buy one, get one free special going on now at MyPillow. MyPillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance MyPillows, the roll and go anywhere MyPillows, and 6-piece towel sets on special. Go to mypillow.com/USA, use promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 and find out all the great deals you can get right now at MyPillow. mypillow.com/USA. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I know a lot of you who are my age or just fans of I Love Lucy recognize that this show has a lot of similarities to what became I Love Lucy. The genesis of this show, My Favorite Husband, became I Love Lucy, not only due to Lucille Ball, but the people who made this show happen. Writers Bob Carroll Jr., Madeline Pugh, and head writer-producer Jess Oppenheimer, who moved with Lucille Ball to the I Love Lucy project, and of course the Richard Denning role in this show taken over by then Lucille Ball's real-life husband, Desi Arnaz. And a lot of people, including the network, didn't think that nobody would believe that Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz were married in real life. But they were. And that added to a lot of the humor. Okay, let's get back to My Favorite Husband, Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, May 20th, 1949.
That was wonderful.
Oh, you did beautifully, Charlie. You're a fine dancer.
Well, that's because you're such a wonderful teacher. You're light as a feather.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Don't you think he caught on quickly, George?
Yes, it's only taken him 3 hours so far.
Treatment, George. Remember, treatment.
Well, all right, but it looks like more of a treat than a treatment.
Oh, George, what'd you turn the radio off for?
Well, I'm tired of dancing. Let's sit this one out.
Liz.
What?
Liz, what's the sense of kidding? Come here.
What?
I don't care about dancing. It's just a chance to hold you close to me.
But, Charlie...
You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. You're ravishing. I can't take my eyes off you.
Hey, what are you two whispering about?
I've never met anyone who did this to me before. You're everything I've ever dreamed of. Everything
Now,
I've
listen, cut that out.
Treatment, George, treatment.
Huh? What do you know about treatment?
Nothing, but you leave us alone every time he says it.
Well, it doesn't work anymore. It's late, and you have to go home, don't you, Charlie?
Well, I don't really.
Look, Liz and I are tired.
Well, if you put it that way.
Oh, I'm not tired. It's only 1 o'clock.
There, see?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm tired of you.
Why, George.
Remember the treatment, George.
To heck with the treatment. You're fired.
Fired? What are you talking about?
He's not an old schoolmate. He's a psychiatrist. I hired him to come here and try to snap you out of this old age nonsense.
What?
Good night, Dr. Stewart.
Good night, Mr. Cooper. I'll send you my bill in the morning.
Oh, Liz, I'm sorry I had to blow up like this, but you're all cured now. Well, you are, aren't you, Liz? Liz?
Oh, rocking chair's got me.
Cooper residence.
Katie, this is Mr. Cooper. I just called to see how Mrs. Cooper's been acting this morning.
I'm afraid she's just as bad as ever, Mr. Cooper. The last time I saw her, she was making out her will.
Her will? What does she have to will to anyone?
Well, she's leaving you to me.
Oh, that's generous of her. Look, Katie, I'm going to try something drastic. I'm going to bring home a companion for her, an old lady about 70 years old.
Oh, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, and when she sees the difference between them, it ought to shock her out of her.
I think that'll work.
Well, I'll see you later. I'm going to pick up Mrs. Green at the old lady's home.
Oh, what a wonderful morning. Oh, Katie, who's that on the phone?
Oh, well, friend of mine. Did you finish your will?
Oh, that was just a silly thought. Isn't it a wonderful day?
Well, what happened to you this morning? You were Grandma Moses, and now you're Junior Miss.
Oh, I had a call from someone.
Who?
That psychiatrist who was here last night. He called up and asked me for a date.
Well, he didn't have any effect on you last night.
I know, but last night he was hired by George. This date was his own idea.
But he knows you're married. Aren't you insulted?
I certainly am. Isn't it wonderful?
But you're not going, are you?
Of course not, but I'm glad he called. Makes me feel young again.
Good. Well, I guess I'd better call Mr. Cooper. He had another plan to snap you out of it. He was going to bring home an old lady to be your companion.
Oh, no.
Yes. I'll call him and tell him to...
Oh, no. Listen, he tricked me with the doctor last night. Let me have a little fun with him.
What are you going to do?
Well, get me a shawl to put over my head, Katie, and some glasses to put on the end of my nose. And when George and my companion get here, I'm going to be a little old lady.
Like I said, a typical script out of what would become I Love Lucy. My Favorite Husband, Lucille-Ball, Richard Denning, from May 20th, 1949, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The wacky conclusion straight ahead when we continue following these important words from your favorite station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of My Favorite Husband, Lucille-Ball, Richard Denning, May 20th, 1949.
They're coming up the walk, Mrs. Cooper. Oh, he's real old.
Well, give me the shawl, Katie. Oh, these glasses tickle the end of my nose.
This way, Mrs. Green. Mrs. Cooper's probably in the living room. Oh, Liz.
Sonny boy.
Liz, where did you get those glasses?
Oh, Georgie, you brought me some company.
Of course he has. I'm glad to meet you, Mrs. Cooper. My, you're skinny. I
over here, Mrs. Green. That's the lamp.
Liz, could I see you in the hall, please?
Now, run along, Georgie. We girls want to have a little chat.
Of course we do. I'm 72. How old are you?
84.
You know, you don't look a day over 70. Tell me, how do you do it?
Penicillin.
Liz?
Go away, Georgie.
Say, how did you get such a young, handsome husband?
Penicillin. I met him through an ad in the paper.
No.
Yes. He was handsome bachelor, snappy dresser, and I was elderly lady with means.
Which paper did you get him through? They've got good ones.
Liz, this isn't very funny.
Go away. Go away, Georgie. You bother me.
Now, Mrs. Cooper.
Just call me Lizzie.
My name's Annie.
Hello, Annie.
Tell me, Lizzie, do you like to dance?
I used to when I was a girl, but now I've got the gout.
Oh, nuts.
I can't dance any unless I get oiled. In my joints, I mean.
I've been oiled in a few joints myself.
Oh, Annie, you're a caution.
Yeah? Just because I got snow on my roof don't mean there's no fire in my furnace. Say, Lizzie.
Yes?
Do you play bingo? I know where there's a game going on right now.
In the middle of the afternoon?
Sure. In back of the Bluebird Tea Shop. There's a hot game going on all day long. The tea shop's just a front. Come on, get your green eye shade and let's go.
I'll get my wheelchair. We can ride down.
All right. What model you got?
Oh, a real hopped-up job. I hooked it to a Mixmaster.
Mixmaster, eh? Does it work?
Sure. I had some speed trials yesterday.
What did you make?
14 miles an hour and a sponge cake.
Now, that's enough of this nonsense. What's going on here?
I'm sorry, George. I just couldn't resist.
Well, wait a minute. I don't understand this at all.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Green. I'll explain in a minute. I'm all right now, George. Something happened today that made me see how silly I've been.
Well, thank goodness. When the presents didn't work, and the psychiatrist didn't work, and even swallowing my pride and having him call you and ask you for a date didn't work, I thought... Now what's the matter?
You told him to call. I'm not attractive. I'm old and worn out and nobody wants me. Goodbye, George.
Where are you going?
Come on, Annie. Let's go play bingo.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rorick. Tonight's program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The part of Katie the Maid was played by Ruth Parrott. Lucille Ball will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Sorrowful Jones. Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband next week. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband, May 20th, 1949 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Radio? Why should I advertise on radio? There's nothing to look at, no pictures.
Listen, you can do things on radio you couldn't possibly do on TV.
That'll be the day.
All right, watch this. Okay, people, and now when I give you the cue, I want the 700-foot mountain of whipped cream to roll into Lake Michigan, which has been drained and filled with hot chocolate. Then the Royal Canadian Air Force will fly overhead towing a 10-ton maraschino cherry, which will be dropped into the whipped cream to the cheering of 25,000 extras. All right, cue the mountain. Cue the Air Force. Cue the maraschino cherry. Okay, 25,000 cheering extras.
Now, you want to try that on television?
Well...
You see, radio is a very special medium because it stretches the imagination.
Doesn't television stretch the imagination?
Up to 27 inches, yes.
She was born in a humble shack amidst the lemon groves of Goleta, California.
Mommy, don't cry. You know what they say? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I was gonna say life sucks, and then you die. But I like yours better.
And with that, Alexandra Johnson launched her lemonade stand.
Lemonade, nickel a glass.
Every day, even during the frigid California winters, a bone-chilling 72 degrees, you could find her.
You can have it sour, you can have it sweet. Little girl's lemonade will knock you off your feet.
The little girl with the sour brew wanted more, national distribution, franchises, and so she rolled out a well-budgeted advertising campaign.
Me and the rest of the Duckwakers only drink little girl lemonade.
She was made president of the International Sour Drink Association and chosen to give the keynote speech at their convention.
You all set with words of wisdom, honey? You know what they say, Mommy. Always advertise so consumers think of your product first. I was gonna say never swallow a lemon seed or a watermelon on your tummy.
This fabricated but interesting story is to remind you that it's called advertising and it works.
Put your message on this national advertising platform by emailing classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode goes back to May 20th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Da, 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 da. That'll be right in.
Lovely having music with one's dinner, isn't it,
That's
Claudia?
musical music, too, David. Are you complaining? Complaining, Mama? Why, I should say not.
A singing maid? Why not? There was a time when singing waiters were all the rage.
You may not remember, David, but I do.
Mother, your long white beard is showing.
Anyway, she may not have a beautiful voice, but otherwise, our Gertrude is a pearl.
A pearl in the rough.
That is a diamond. Or a chicken.
Roughly speaking, I think the chicken Gertrude prepared was delicious.
I'm stuffed. That was chicken.
I wonder what Gertrude's concocted for dessert.
Probably concocted something stupendous. If you two aren't eating food, you're talking about it. Dinner table conversation, Mama. Do you mind? Well, it's not all there is in life. Oh, but it's such fun. Would you rob us of such a simple pleasure? Hush up.
You heard your mother, Claudia. Hush up.
I didn't say anything.
No more discussion about food. Check?
Check. Thank goodness that's settled.
Now, Mrs. Norton, you may tell me what you think our dessert will be.
A souffle, maybe. Or a pie?
Gertrude doesn't look like a souffle to me, does she to you?
No, worse luck. She looks like a rhubarb pie. Oh, no, not again.
Oh, rhubarb pie is very healthy, Mother.
I don't eat to be healthy. A terrible mistake, Mother. It's enough I have to eat a raw carrot at every meal since Gertrude came.
Are you complaining, Mother?
Of course she is, David. She resents not being the boss around here anymore.
Well, of course.
Mama likes to know what's cooking in the kitchen, David. But since Monday, when Gertrude took over, she hasn't been allowed in.
I smell apples. I bet it's going to be an apple pie.
Bet you 20 cents.
It's a deal.
Shake.
Shook.
You're both wrong. It's apple dumplings. It is? Wonderful.
You like apple dumplings?
I love them.
Oh, I do, too.
I've never eaten them. I only hope you two aren't contagious. There ought to be one sensible person around here. There isn't. Oh, yes, Gertrude is sensible. Even her shoes are. I hate sensible shoes. They reflect personality. Hush up. Here she comes.
Too bad you had to wait, but I'm not used to electric stoves yet.
It's only baked apples.
Hope they're baked through. I'm sure they are. Can't be too sure, but an apple a day it is, raw, baked, or mashed.
They look delicious.
Baked apples have such character.
More milk for anyone?
No, thanks.
Demi-tasse of coffee, Mrs. Brown?
No, thank you, Gertrude. Not tonight.
Pardon me, Mrs. Norton, but I thought you ought to know I'm doing the closets tomorrow.
The closets?
I like to wash them out with ammonia every now and then.
Oh, of course.
Then I'll take everything out of the closets and start bright and early. Well, now, I'll get to my dishes.
She certainly is efficient.
She certainly is.
Yes. Mama, how's your baked apple?
It's baked enough.
So's mine.
She's a very good cook, too.
Yes, excellent.
We're all going to be so very healthy. So very. Eating all the right things.
I hate all the right things.
You just don't know how lucky you are to have Gertrude coming in to help out.
She's so efficient.
And that's bad.
Everything's getting so done about the house. There's nothing for me and Mama to do.
I don't know how you feel, but I'm delighted.
Then why did you complain all afternoon that if you knit another stitch, you'll go mad?
You're imagining things.
Oh,
Now, let's go to the living room, darling.
delighted. Oh, coming, Mama?
I think I'll go up to my room.
What for heaven's sake?
Not for heaven's sakes, for a little sleep. I think I'll turn in early tonight.
Sleepyhead. David, have you ever heard of such a thing?
No, not for a long time.
If you decide not to be snooty anymore, Mama, come on down.
I will see you in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
You know, I've never known any woman I'd rather have had as a mother.
You're the son she never had, David. Even a little of the husband she lost.
That was a nice thing to say.
You're a nice husband to love.
Come on. Here's my lap.
Here's me.
Oh,
Oh, now listen, I'm not bad.
I should say so.
Well, now what are you going to do?
Read the farm bulletin, I hope.
Oh, how dull for me. David. Shh. This is important.
What?
I'm thirsty.
Then get off of my lap and get yourself a glass of water.
I'll get off your lap, but I can't get myself a glass of water.
Oh, why not?
Gertrude doesn't like anybody in the kitchen when she's working.
Say, whose house is this? Gertrude's or ours?
It used to be ours, but since last Monday when Gertrude came,
Yes, go on.
I've got a confession to make.
Make ahead.
I'm tired of rhubarb pie and an apple a day. And the house is so neat I can't find anything. And Gertrude's so cheerful all the time. Isn't it awful?
She's in my hair, too.
Oh, darling, you're so satisfactory. It's just that she's around all the time.
I know. Well, what do you want to do about her?
Well, I don't like to hurt her feelings, and she has worked very hard.
Well, there must be a way to let her go and still not hurt her feelings.
You won't mind?
On the contrary.
Tomorrow's the end of her week. Mama can tell her then.
You will tell her then.
Oh, dear. Well, anyway, she's got the house so clean we won't need another maid for weeks.
None of that. We'll start looking for one right now.
It'd be nice and relaxing to be alone for a change. Besides, Gertrude is really wasting her talents around here.
We don't appreciate her. That's the whole thing. We just don't.
We ought to write her a letter of recommendation, shouldn't we,
Well, that's a fine idea. Go ahead. Write it.
Dear
Quietly.
whoever it may concern, I will begin.
You will not. You'll say, dear to whom it may concern.
Oh, that sounds so formal. If I'm going to give my maid away to somebody, I don't have to be so formal with them. It's quite a bond between us, isn't it?
If I thought for a moment that you were serious.
Yes?
Go ahead with your letter now. Then what do you say?
Then I say, dear whoever it may concern, this is to recommend to you Gertrude Hanson, widow. Mrs. Hanson is an excellent cook, a thorough housekeeper.
And a student of nutrition.
That's believing in raw carrots and apples and prunes, isn't it?
Especially prunes. Unfortunately, it is.
Ugh.
Mrs. Hanson is also efficient.
Works with initiative and energy.
Does laundry and ironing. Now, let's see. Is there anything else?
Anything else? What else is there?
Gertrude sounds like quite a person, doesn't she?
She sounds terrific.
With a letter like that, she'll be grabbed up in a minute.
In a second. David, how can Gertrude be so wonderful and we still don't want her?
Well, now let me see. I'll have to think about that. Oh, I know.
What?
We are crazy.
I guess we are. But I understand this, don't you?
At times.
Is this one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't feel so terrible about letting her go, seeing as, in complete honesty, we can write such a very nice letter about her. Do you?
I catch the drift.
You know, it's funny, isn't it? In spite of everything, Gertrude is not for us, is she?
Well, I'm not going to discuss it anymore. We've made up our mind now. Gertrude goes.
How am I going to tell her?
Oh, that's your problem. Now I'm going to read my paper. So...
I certainly hope we're doing the right thing. That letter I'm going to write sounds so wonderful. No, I'll tell Gertrude tomorrow. She just isn't for us. David. Hey, David.
What?
See if there are any ads for maids in the paper.
All right. And we'll have some peace.
It's a deal?
All right. Let's see.
What do you...
Here's one for, let's see, No, she's not right.
Why not?
No children.
No children? Well, she'd be fine for us for a month.
Mm-hmm. Here's another. The fellow wants to trip. No, I don't think he'd do either. You know, there aren't many ads for maids wanting jobs.
No, mostly jobs wanting maids.
Here's one that sounds pretty good.
Read it.
Cook and general houseworker, not afraid of work, kind and willing.
Ooh.
Efficient at all branches of housekeeping. Will live out.
Mm-hmm.
Loves children and animals.
Wonderful.
Excellent personal references from last employer, Right Box YBC.
David, she sounds too good to be true. She's for us.
For us?
Well, I don't have to hear one other word about her. I don't care what she looks like or anything. I'm going to write a letter to Box YBC immediately.
Hey, don't you want to interview her first?
With those recommendations, what could be wrong with her? Why, she'll be snapped up in no time. Say, maybe I ought to send a telegram instead of a letter.
Now, don't rush into anything,
Well, these days you've got to rush into it. You can't afford to let a good person go. This wonder is a bonanza, pure and simple.
Gertrude is a bonanza.
She certainly is.
Pure,
What?
but not so simple.
Gertrude? What are you talking about?
Gertrude. She's the bonanza.
You are not making any sense. Or are you?
I are.
You mean you just made up the ad? It's not in the paper at all? Let me see.
There's nothing to see. It's just our Gertrude.
That was a nasty joke to play, getting me all excited about a maid that doesn't exist. And made so hard to get.
No, but she does exist. She's ours for the asking. We don't even have to send her a telegram.
David, do you think we should...
I think we should think it over.
When you talk about her, she sounds so wonderful. When you have to live with her...
All through in the kitchen. The garbage is out, the dog and the cat fed, and there's some hot fat on the stove, so be careful.
We won't go near it, Gertrude.
There's a glass of sauerkraut juice in the icebox for Mrs. Norton to drink before she goes to bed.
Thank you, Gertrude. David, you love it, you know. Half is for you, darling.
There's carrot juice for him.
Gertrude has everything all planned, darling.
The best laid plans of mice and men.
Well, see you all in the morning. Bright and early. Gotta get in them closets.
David, quickly before it's too late and I change my mind. Let's hire Gertrude.
All right, we'll hire her. Now kiss me. And let me read my paper.
Say, David.
Now what?
Do you think we ought to give her a raise? Coming from such a nice place as us, I mean.
Are you on the entertainment committee for your club party? Are you planning any affairs at home? Better put Coca-Cola at the very top of the list when you start writing down what you need. Coke is such a universal favorite, and it costs so little. It's so no wonder so many people rely upon it as the very basis of hospitality. You've heard the phrase, where there's Coke, there's hospitality. And truly it seems to work out that way. Offer ice-cold Coca-Cola to your guests and see.
So Gertrude stays.
Not only stays, but with a raise.
Well, in her own way, she deserves it. Gertrude's quite a bit of maid to have around the house.
It's either too much or too little.
In this case, too much maid is better than too little maid. Gertrude is a real gem these days.
And every gem has its flaw.
Really? One we haven't discovered yet.
You'll discover it tomorrow night when Mr. Killian and a thunderstorm both come for dinner.
That's quite a combination.
Well, indeed. Perhaps even too much of a combination for the good Gertrude.
Well, I certainly want to find out what happened, so I'll be here tomorrow. Goodbye, Mr. King.
Goodbye, Mrs. Brown. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, Whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. These programs star Catherine Bard as Claudia and Paul Crabtree as David. And the entire production was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
Back in the days when Coca-Cola wasn't shipped halfway across the country to be in your store, there were Coca-Cola bottlers in every community, even in my small community here of Ely, Nevada. Claudia, May 20th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Would you thank this radio station and support their advertisers? It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. And just a reminder that if you miss a day, you do not have to miss a single show. You can find our shows on Spotify, on Amazon, on Spreaker, on Apple Podcast or Google Podcast. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And you can find them other places, too. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Or just go to my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can stream the shows there, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me, classicradio.stream. And have a great day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.